Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Water Visions where I try to tackle all the brutal quests using MR units or below. And today I finally got to the Cypress pile rod brutal quest, which upon completions gives you a +3 rod. So the missions for this event is annihilate all enemies, do not hire a companion, no KLs, don't use items, formation including only dark units, and clear all missions at the same time. At first, I thought this wasn't too difficult, but upon going to the map and losing, I can see why it's difficult for some players, especially if they do it just on auto. There's Engelbert there who probably has hate generation or automatically and is very tanky. So all it takes is for him to do a taunting blade, and that screws up the AI for players tremendously, unless they could one shot enemies real quick. But I play on manual, so I never had to worry about that. But this map was still kind of difficult. It didn't take me too long, not like the tower events, tower floors. Sorry. But without further ado, here are the units. So first off, we have Shadow Lynx here, who's going to be one of our main damage dealers. She received her EX form, but I have not yet EX her yet. I haven't taken her to EX stage yet. So for now, she's at level 99. I gave her sub job Samurai so that she has access to Night Veil, which has a chance of inflicting blind, which will help tremendously with her dodging. And because she's a main jump ninja, she has access to Shadow Bind, which has a chance of stopping the enemy, which plays a huge role in my clear. Her support skills are Shadow Runner for more agility and luck to help with her evasion, and Blaze Soul for more attack and evasion rate, but at the cost of lowering her defense. Her counter ability is Dragon's Blade, so if she ever counters back, if she ever counters attack, she'll absorb some damage, which will help her survive a bit better. I have her holding the Kodachi +5, because I haven't had a chance to make the MR version of the weapon, but this works fine. Has attack power, has slash up, has a little bit of crit. I'm fine with that. She is holding Sage's hat for the evasion up and the evasion stats. And she is on Ziza's bells, illusory bells for AP restoration, so that way she could do her attacks more. She's on Touch of Sylphin for more evasion, and then she has her own luck card, her own card equipped, Cleansing of the Mind, gives the entire party missile attack up, which pretty much helps for this map because there are some archers, and gives herself some more luck up so she can evade better, and gives the whole team, since everyone's dark, more HP, which is definitely needed for this map. There is so many enemies on this map. I feel like it's the most enemies I've seen, especially since everyone's bunched up in a medium-sized map. It's not big, but it's not small either. But everyone's so close to each other still. It feels like that way. Next up, we have Gafgarion. He is a limited time unit from the Final Fantasy Tactics event. He'll be our second damage dealer. He is a Fell Knight job class, so he's both using it for both his sub job and main job. And he's just a secondary attacker. He hits big, he hits strong. We have Shadow Blade to absorb some damage dealt. Abyssal Blade is his hard hitting move, which helps out a lot. I don't think there's anything in his sub job that helps. Well, Fiend Lord to help his invasion a little bit more, because he can be evading, just like Shadow Lynx, but not as much. Self-sacrifice support for more attack power, but at the cost of lowering all attack resistances, and then attack up for more attack power. As you can see, he's almost at 1k attack power. connivish mercenary. So when he gets hit, he has a chance of doing damage and absorbing some of that damage, just like Shadow Lynx. So he's pretty much a stronger version of Shadow Lynx, and has a weaker he has a weaker evasion rate, pretty much. But he can be evading if you focus more on it. But that will be at the cost of his attack power. And I was more focused on his attack power with this build. He's using the Nagaroth sword for more attack power. He is holding the mithril armor for some evasion and strike attack positions. And then I gave him Montleonis's Trustmaster reward for mainly for Rally Cry, which gives people around him agility up, and you can use that 2 times per battle. He's on Behemoth Esper for some even more attack and some dark up. And then I gave him the perks of having Charm card, which is a Light Eater up card for the entire party, because most of this map has light units, and Light Eater pretty much says I do more damage to light units, which helps. On top of that, it has the additional bonus party ability of my dark units gaining light attack resistance up, which definitely helps in this map, because in this game, dark and light units are essentially weak to each other. So it's gonna come down to what cards and what equipment you use to try to combat the opposite team, pretty much. With the AI is not too bad, but when it comes to PvP, that's when it really shines, because dark is strong, light is more defensive. There's a lot of things going on that tips the scale, but I believe at the current state of the game, there are better dark units than light units. But in Japan, it's the opposite. There's better light units than dark units. The bestow effect, it doesn't really matter for this map. No one does that much damage to exceed the damage limit, or he won't do that much damage to exceed the damage limit. Next up, we have Little Leela. Little Leela is an SR unit and probably the only dark unit that has access to White Mage. So I'm using her strictly for her White Mage sub job, because she has access to Kurata, Kura, Raise, all that stuff. No full life, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Her support ability, Providence of Light, helps magic attack resistance, which there's only one magic user on this map, so it doesn't really affect that, but has light resistance up as well, so she could at least take the light hits. And then she has HP up for more HP, and Sword Guard, so she can take hits better. She's a Spellblade main job, so she can tank magic hits. But again, I'm using her as strictly a White Mage for this map, because that's the only White Mage I have access to in the dark element. She has the Nagaroth Mage version sword, so I could get her magic up as much as possible. I gave her Armor of Life, so she could take hits a bit better and more HP. And then she has Cecil's Trustmaster reward for the Holy Nice Cheer, which helps gives attack, magic, and bravery up to everyone. She's on Diablos, which is very important, because Diablos not only gives Lilita more magic stat, but if I summon Diablos on the field, it imperils every enemy on the field's dark resistance by 60%, which means I hit harder. And that's going to play a role in the battle, because if I don't hit hard, then I won't be able to defeat the enemies quickly enough before they start ganging up on me. I don't have access to full life, and I only have 2 accesses to Raise. Raise does not have much of of a proc rate, so I can't afford anyone to die. So when Diablos is ready, I have to use it almost immediately to have a better chance of winning the map. And prior to this, when I was doing my tries, I didn't have Diablos and I was failing almost all the time. There was one time I was doing great, but then enemy had a crit on one of my units that knocked it out when it shouldn't have been knocked out, and I couldn't proc Raze because Raze has a low chance of reviving reviving units. I can't do nothing about it. She's on the Iron Giant card to give everyone slash attack resistance up, and her herself will have some slash attack up because she does have access to some slash moves thanks to her Spellblade job, but it's at the cost of lower agility, which is, I wasn't sure if she should hold this card, but it was okay. It played off. It played out pretty well. All right, the next person on the team is the star of the show. To me, he is, and that's Titus. I wish my Titus was at level 99, but sadly, I still only have him at 89. I'm trying to get his charge to limit break him one more time. Slowly, but getting there. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. He's our tank for the map, and he worked out pretty well. I don't know why people say he sucks. You just have to just have to work with his weaknesses. He has initial AP up so that he starts with more AP at the beginning of the battle, and then unyielding protection for more missile attack resistance. Paladin's Guard to take better hits for physical damage, which the 99% of the enemies are physical damage on this map, so it works out well. But let me just show you his stats. So he is sitting comfortably at 83% missile resistance, 35% piercing, but there's no piercing on this map, so I'm not worried about it, and 38% slash. Just because someone starts with a negative doesn't mean they're automatically bad, but people just go there and they don't bother. But that's fine. Just means I get to play with him more. He's on pod 153 for even more single target attack resistance and some defense and HP. I gave him Holy Knight's shoulder plate for more missile attack resistance and more HP. And then I gave him Silma's Trustmaster reward for even more slash attack resistance and HP. He's on Siren because Siren gives slash resistance, and that's why I was able to turn that negative resistance that Titus starts with, which I believe is negative 20, and turns it into a positive. And 38% was more than enough for the map. There are a lot of slashers, but the only ones that I have to worry about are the Ruined Knight slashers, because they use magic style slashers instead of physical, and Titus doesn't have much spirit to combat that. But he was taking the hits pretty well, as you'll see in the battle. He's on Snow White Guard because it gives a bestowed effect of slash attack resistance up, missile resistance up at the cost of lowering his HP by 15%. That's why with this card stacked with the Iron Giant card, he's able to get up pretty good at slash resistance. Still not as high as other tanks, but it's good enough. On top of that, this card gives the entire party critical damage up, so whenever they crit, they do more damage. I know Shadowlings crits a lot because ninjas and samurais love to crit. And then on occasion, Gafgarion can crit. and then if they crit, they just do massive damage. He took everything like a boss, and I do enjoy him. I can't wait to get him to level 99. But our final star of the show is Ryu. He's our gunner, but the map kind of says no to gunners in a way. It's hard for them to shoot when the terrain is rocky, and this map does have a lot of rocky fields. But one way I worked around that is with his sub job Thief, which gives him access to Snipe Dagger, which is a slash move that has some range. So at the very least, if I can't shoot an enemy, I can at least snipe them with a dagger. If all else fails, I will use Steal Time or Steal Vision or Shadow Cast to slow down the enemy. And that was pretty much it. He's like the third attacker of the team, but he was more of the I'm gonna try to disable you. I'm gonna try to confuse you. He was the status effect kind of guy. He has access to arm shot, which has a chance of disable, and then he has access to blackout, which has a chance of blind. This is why his faith is all the way at 97 to increase the chances of status conditions. Concentration was so he could have better range at the cost of lower evasion, and Thief Floor for more movement and agility. Honestly, I should have switched this to a different passive because my range was limited thanks to the map. So something like Missile Mastery would have been way better. So he would have done more damage, or even acquire AP or initial AP up would have been good too. But I kind of forgot to change it, and it still worked out anyway. Quick action is his reaction ability. If he takes a hit, he has a chance of raising his own agility up by one stage. He has the Sautilage accessory for more, a little bit of evasion, a little bit of defense, some HP. He's on Smart Code mainly for the HP. And then he is holding his own Trustmaster gun, which on normal attack grants has a chance of blinding the enemy, which is pretty good for him. And I also don't have any other guns made right now, so this is just as fine. He's on Infinite for even more attack power, and then I gave him the Behemoth card so that all the dark units will get additional attack up. The Pierce attack resistance didn't really work for this map because again there are no spears, no dragoons or anything like that. But this card also gives a bestow ability of agility up, so to help Ryu be faster on the map. Overall, it was tough, but it wasn't too tough. Once I switched out, she was on Bloody Moon. Once I switched that out for Diablos, and I was able to summon Diablos, things were just a lot easier because I was able to do more damage thanks to the Pearl and the attack boost, and it just went smoothly from there. In the beginning, it's a little bit rough because I have to position everyone in the right spot to manipulate the enemy's AI so they could get into the right spot, and to make sure that Titus isn't getting hit prematurely before I have him set up. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. But I hope you enjoyed the video. There's no commentary in the video, sorry, because I did it on my phone. But I still hope you enjoyed the battle itself, and I'll see you guys next time. Laters.
I will eliminate you. Ready yourself. This cannot miss.
Just die if you're so tormented with regrets. All right, let's go.
Now the real fight begins.
Close. Let me deal
I'm about
with
to
these
bring you
Latwoods.
down. We will run you down. Fresh start.
I shall teach you everything about the ways of war.
Pardon our intrusion. Now it really begins. Annihilate the enemy. Let's go.
Come out and fight, wherever you are.
Thanks.
Are you okay?
Sorry,
Power of
your help is
healing.
much needed. Give up any hope.
Don't think you can turn back now. I can have fun with this one.
Leave the rest to me.
This cannot miss.
Let me share some pep.
Gotcha now! You have underestimated me!
Now the real fight begins.
The power of healing.
Not bad.
Now the real
Are you
fight
okay?
begins.
Don't think you can turn back now.
This cannot miss. Too slow. Activating my special technique.
Let me share some pep.
This cannot miss. Thanks.
I can have fun with this one.
Hey, are you okay?
Now the real fight begins. Now the real fight begins.
share some pep.
Activate my special technique. This cannot miss.
Don't think you can turn back now.